1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay. I was only gonna do one video, but I really wanna fucking get near the end of this shit. Then suddenly there was the captain standing in the doorway and carrying 2 chairs. Oh, did he leave? He went out to get more chairs, something? That's why he hasn't been whooping ass left and right. What in the name of hell? The captain bellowed. Again, I need to take a shot every time it says he bellowed. He dropped the 2 folding chairs, letting the clatter to the floor. That would be really loud. I can only imagine what 2 folding chairs hitting the ground would sound like. What is going on in here? The farmhands froze and went quiet. Kitty, kitty. Look at him attacking me. No! He's fucking biting me. The farmhands froze and went quiet. Tanner took a breath. He was cut off, though, by that heavily freckled redhead who, although his face said he was intimidated, dared to still spit words to the captain and glare at him. I am not, he hissed, eating if Ashley cooked. That little fucking whore is gonna get us all sick. Again. Don't they know that, wasn't it common knowledge that Ashley was doing all the cooking? Like, didn't that word spread around or whatever? Maybe not. The captain narrowed his eyes dangerously. His gaze flittered around the room, then returned. Oh, he muttered. Ashley is gonna get you sick, huh? It's his fault, is it? He suddenly raised his voice aggressively. And what about you, huh? You're so innocent. You had nothing to do with it? You didn't lay with him and half the farm yourself? Don't try to play games with me, Isaac. How dumb do you think I am? I think that's enough, Tanner tried to cut in. But if the captain did hear his quiet voice, he didn't respond. More than likely, he didn't even hear a thing. You don't want to eat, huh? The captain growled. Then don't. You can wait outside like a dog. The freckled redhead squealed and tried to run, but the captain grabbed him. Squealing and grabbing. It's another 2 shots. He grabbed him by the arm in the front of his wife beater and yanked the farmhand clean out of the kitchen. Let me go, you ass! Isaac spit. They heard him muffled down the hall and the swing of the door opening. I'll let you go, all right, the captain snarled. I'll let you go. You don't want to eat? Then sit outside. There was a violent scuffling as he threw the boy from the front door and slammed it shut. Then quiet. Just a few barks from old Monty out on the front porch. This house is literally like hell. Like, there's never a moment of peace. It's always something. The captain returned in seconds, sighing, walking slowly, rubbing a hand through his hair. He caught Tanner's stare and returned it with a quiet shake of his head. Every fucking night, he mumbled. Yeah, because that's the way you run it. acting like he doesn't have a part in it. He's the whole thing. He looked back at the rest of the startled farmhands and gestured exhaustedly. Go ahead, eat, the captain said. Jesus. I'm surprised he doesn't, go behind somebody and, shove their head down in the food. I swear I've seen... Oh my god, I just remembered something. I remember this, and, oh my god, I haven't thought about this in so fucking long. Okay. I remember, because I was gonna make a video about things I've seen on TV, a really long time ago and stuff, when I was a kid, mostly, that, a couple of them I figured out what they are, but, a lot of them I still don't know to this day, what it was. And I haven't thought about this one in so long, but it was so disturbing, and it honestly, fucking kind of scarred me as a kid for, a minute. Okay, there was this movie I saw, I think it might have been black and white, I'm not sure, but I don't remember. But all I know is it was this family around a dinner table. And, I think it was, an abusive dad or something. And then something happened, and he, I think he, like, grabbed the girls, like, there was 2 daughters, I think, or something, and then he, like, he grabbed one of their hair, and he, like, shoved her face in the food, and he was, like, shoving her face in the food, and he was, like, and he, like, I don't remember if it was the same girl or if there was, like, 2 girls, but he, like, grabbed the food, and like, her head, like, lifted up, and then he was, like, shoving the food in her mouth, like, really violently. And he was like, "Fucking eat it," or something like that. I don't remember. But I saw that as, like, a child, and I was just like, what the hell? Like, that was honestly, like, the most disturbing thing I had seen at the time. Oh my god, and that just came back to me. I haven't thought about that for so long. If anybody knows what that is, like, I know it's, like, super vague and only, like, a tiny little amount of information, but if anybody knows what that is, let me know, because I wonder what the fuck that was. It was some really crazy movie, or at least a crazy scene. Anyway, where was I? He turned to Tanner and gestured to him as well. "Go ahead," he said more quietly. "Why don't you sit next to Ashley?" Yeah, I'm sure Tanner would like that, his little crush. That's not creepy at all. In less than an hour, the dining room was beginning to look barren. Oh, and Ashley's not a child. He's supposed to be like 20, I think, or something. So, you know, I don't know. Or actually, maybe he was supposed to be younger in this story. I used to roleplay him as like a 20-year-old, but once in a while I would use him in like teen role plays. So I guess he could be a teen. It's a possibility. Anyway, the dining room was beginning to look barren. The atmosphere became louder, filling gradually with the buzz of chatter noise, as the stomachs of the farmhands gained substance, and their mouths became empty. Tanner ate quietly and kept stealing glances at Ashley. Oh god, he's really got it for him. The boy would not look at him, or anyone else. His shoulders drooped and his eyes remained fixed on his lap. He took a roll of bread and a single spoon of mashed potatoes and picked at the 2 of those all night, hardly eating, only taking the little that he did in order to avoid scrutiny. Go ahead, Tanner whispered to him. "Don't starve yourself." Ashley seemed to just ignore him. "I'm not," he mumbled, barely audible at all. And he tore off a tiny corner of the bread roll to chew on. Tanner sighed, but this environment was not exactly private or quiet, not the right place for a heart-to-heart. He would get to the boy later, now that he seemed much less scared than the first time they had met. The first moment Ashley got a chance, when the 2 other farmhands at the end of the table, the boy stood quickly and began, what? That doesn't make sense, and began clearing plates. He skipped immediately over Tanner and went around, snatching up the empty dishes and stacking them with expert quickness, disturbing focus. He looked only at where his little hands plucked with rapid speed. That's exactly what I do when I cashier, because you can't be looking at everybody's face all the time. They're just watching you. And just watching you, waiting for you to fuck up so they can say something, and just giving you so much, like, heat. Like, just sweating you so hard with their eyes, you know? And it's like, I can't be looking at all these people. I'd be done after, like, 3 customers. So, like, what I need to do is just, like, focus, like, super, super high focus, and just, like, every item. And the other thing is, like, if I didn't focus, I would drop items. But, like, that's what I do. I just feel like, okay, this item, just focus, deadlock on that. And then just, like, hitting the code, you know, or slide it. And then next one, just, like, focus entirely on that. Don't even look up for a second. Just only think about this item. And then code that in. Move on. Just go like that, you know. But, like, really fast, obviously. But, like, yeah. So I totally relate to what Ashley's doing right now. He rounded the end of the table. And even as his pile grew heavier and heavier, he balanced them by size on his forearms and never wavered. I think maybe he might have used to been like a server or something at a restaurant, because he knows how to do all that. Or maybe like he used to work at a bar and grill or something. The captain swiftly patted his mouth clean with a napkin and rose to his feet, picking up his own plate and glass. Jakob, Maury, he said, nodding to the two of them, who were themselves beginning to rise. When I just said Jakob, Maury, just like that, maybe it sounds like Jacob Marley. I don't know. It sounded like some politician's name or something. He motioned towards Ashley casually. Give him a hand. They did, quietly, as they were told, and began to circle the table, gathering the remaining dishes while Ashley, with his full load, was already at the sink. The rest of them were moving for the door, relaxed, not frantic, not running, just moving out, taking their corn cobs and used napkins and making sure they were left on the table, not on the windowsills or seats. In the movement, the captain came up beside Tanner as he stood from the table and nodded to him. Did you want to talk to Ashley? He murmured very confidentially. Or any of them? I have a few still taking medicine. Oh, I guess for their STDs. If you wanted to. Would I? Tanner murmured. Of course. I'm here to help. Oh god, this is just fetish city. He smiled. What? He smiled. And then I think like some page is missing. Let me see. Maybe not. Okay. I think a page is missing, but the next thing it says is the farm and not to blow it. Tanner can't say anything to that. Ashley is at... Oh, these are notes. Okay, so I guess that was the end of the official story. Tanner fucking lusting after Ashley and then having a fetishizal enjoyment of the idea of giving the guys medicine, of course, because that's what it's all about, you know. It's just the ultimate in sexual pleasure. So yeah, let's finish off this note by reading these notes. Ashley is at the bar again and meets another guy, but this time stands up for himself. The guy starts to fight over Ashley when the bartender makes a remark. Man, Ashley is just like Helen of Troy right here, face that launched 1,000 ships, apparently. Ashley yells at him. The guy says he was defending Ashley's honor. Ashley scoffs and said he was humiliated and that there's no honor in someone else fighting your battles. A little feminism in there, even though Ashley's the guy, but you know. That night he comes back to the farm walking proud. Tanner sees and smiles, knowing he at least helped one boy. What? Tanner did that somehow? Okay, well, a page is missing, so I don't know. Tanner tries to convince Jack to have a... What? Something, but Jack gets mad the way that Tanner talks down to him. He says he might have done it, but now he won't because Tanner made it sound so horrible. He walks away, then peeks back, and then runs. Tanner realizes how terrified Jack is when he sees how he ran like that and the look he gave like he was expecting to be chased. Well, yeah, after the other experience he had with Tanner, why wouldn't he think that? Didn't know how to care for a kid. He felt alone and they were scared of him and tried to have him locked up. But then adds a twist at the end, saying that pathological lying runs in his family. Tanner asks if that includes him. I don't even know which character we're talking about right now. He doesn't answer, but says that all he wants is to be held. Okay. Tanner does. Later we see the captain on the phone with Ashley's mom. Ashley's mom is in it, huh? She asks if Ashley has made progress. The captain says he doesn't know and tries to get her to talk to Ashley directly, but she doesn't want to. Damn, his own mom shutting him out. He reminds her that Ash is there to work and can come and go as he wants. She says, doesn't he want to come home? The captain says that question has to be answered by Ashley. Yeah. And she hangs up. Cold, man. His mom ain't no good. Tanner challenges the captain and says there should be changes around the farm. He says more discipline and that leaving the farm, more discipline. I think the captain is all about discipline. And that leaving the farm should be a privilege, not a right. Man, Tanner is trying to just take away every little last thing they've got. I don't really like this guy. He's not as chill as Mr. Green. Mr. Green is really like good cop. It's like him and this lady, Miss D, they like run the farm in this other story. And they're cool, they're nice, they're good people, you know, they just hang out. This Tanner guy, I don't like this guy, Tanner. He's just, I don't know what's going on. Okay. He cites examples of the danger to the boys, and then it says Fan. Oh yeah, that last chapter was called Fan, and we never even met Fan. So, I don't know, I guess it was something that was going to happen that I didn't get around to. The captain says he knows what he's doing and cites examples of why it should stay how it is. He reminds Tanner that most of them came from locked-in places and that doesn't work, or they were abused and they would be terrified to be kept in strict living. But it's okay to whip their fucking asses all the time and slap the shit out of them? Okay. Tanner challenges that and says it's healthier. The captain scoffs and tells him the boys will tell you what they need. The captain is seeming to get more credibility now. He reminds Tanner that the times he actually helped the boys, it was because he acted emotionally, not calculated. What? Okay. I don't know. It's getting a little weird. I don't understand. He says Tanner is great potential. And then it just ends. And then there's a song. Do you see it? The things that I see. Pictures in my mind when you're talking to me. Think it would ruffle. Make you disagree. But I'm ashamed. It makes me so happy. I just want to... Or, it doesn't say I. Just want to be clean. Yeah, clean, clean, clean. Clean thoughts. No dreams. Clean. Please don't disagree. I know you read my mind when you're talking to me. Oh, please, just let me go free. It's really all the same thing, if you could see. You don't like candy, but it's a game to me. I'll correlate your words to anything sweet. Just want to be clean, yeah, clean, clean, clean. My book, your movie, just clean. Please don't figure out me. I know you see my visions when you're talking to me. Just want to be clean, yeah, clean, clean, clean. Learned this stuff somewhere before, but that's not clean. Please agree. I can't say how ironic. No, 'cause I can't speak. Interesting. Tanner suggests going to the mall. Jakob and Maury explain that they don't go because it's far and they don't have a lot of money, as it mostly pays for their rent and goes back to their families. Wow, they're actually being paid? I thought they were just kind of like slave labor or something. Tanner asks if Jakob sends to his family. He avoids the question. Oh yeah, Jakob had this whole thing, I doubt is ever said anywhere, but his backstory is basically like he had some asshole abusive dad who like, he had a shed in the backyard and he locked up Jakob in the shed for like fucking, like from the time he was like a kid into adulthood. So that's he was locked in there from like when he was like 10 years old to 20 years old or something, like his whole teens. He was just like kept in this like backyard and lived in a shed, never went out ever. So like that's why he's all screwy. I don't know, something like that. Tanner takes them to the mall and one of them freaks out thinking the mannequins can move. Maury confesses to Tanner about feeling ugly, not being able to get a girlfriend. Wait, how are they gonna get a girlfriend? They're living on this farm. Well, I guess they can go into town, huh? But, I mean, what are they gonna do? They're gonna bring the girl back to the farm and be like, check it out, like, this is our fucking, like, you know, this is our, like, fuck farm. You like it? None of them even seem like they want girlfriends. They all seem like they're totally happy just fucking everybody else in the ass. So, yeah, I didn't even know any of them were fucking straight. But anyways, people perceiving him as gay. Oh, okay. Maybe he's the token straight one. And not being able to tell the captain this sort of thing. We see Gessie and Jakob love. Like, have sex? Or just make out or something, or cuddle. Ashley goes into town and is taken advantage of by a dominating man. When he comes back, Tanner is out and asks where he was. He says none of his business. Tanner says everyone's been avoiding him and has to stop. Ashley tries to kiss Tanner again, but he refuses again. Oh, so this happened before? Ashley cries and tells how he lets guys do anything to him because he doesn't want to be ignored and he feels used. Tanner says people look at him because he's beautiful. Ashley scoffs and says they just want to use him. Tanner says the users aren't worth it, but they're good men, and by attracting so many people, it proves there's something special about Ashley. He's really just fluffing his ego up. Ashley tells his backstory of how his parents were too poor to care for him, sent him off to his aunt, but when he came back to them, they didn't really. Then nothing else. Dinner sequence. Everyone fights. Tanner sees the captain's harsh side, but then his soft one. He meets Enid when Enid sneaks into the house again. The captain explains how Enid is when he worries Tanner. Tanner talks to Ashley and Maury and learns about Fan, who we've never seen. Mickey discovers the airplane with India. What airplane? While Gyro and Gessie talk. Ashley flirts with Tanner. Jakob's story comes out. Nightmares, and he says why he would not leave the captain. Tanner and the captain talk about control over the boys. Tell Goldie lied about where he's from. Shows the captain knows them intimately. Goldie's second confrontation with the city man and his reinvention of himself. Flyer gets a job and leaves. Ashley runs off. Jack's story comes out. Ashley returns, says his age and his views of sex, tries to make out with Tanner and gets upset about rejection. Mickey tries to fly in secret. Oh yeah, I think I remember now. They find like a working Cessna or some shit like that. There's supposed to be something in there. I don't even know. That was weird. Captain leaves to visit family. Oh no. Just Tanner in charge. Everyone falls apart. Of course they do. Mickey and the microchip believes he was in the army once and tries to fly. This is a floor plan of the farmhouse, apparently? Something like that. I don't know. What is this right here? There was not much to see now. As they began to peer around themselves, all that met their eyes were the tall stalks of thin but dense grass, shining pale gray in the moonlight. The honks of the cars were no more. Now it was only the constant growling hum behind them, in place of the old insect sounds of the jungle. At last they slowed their footsteps to a walk, panting heavily, their hair all on end. It was dark here. The moonlight shone down on them, turning their sandy skin to the white of corpses, and every scar, every scratch or skin patch on their naked bodies stood out like purple bruises in the cold. They looked at one another. Now at last was the time for thinking. Volodya could see the way Dima's chest dropped when his breath left his lungs and turned to mist in the air. They looked around in the dark, around themselves. Dima's eyes, which in the sun were blue, now looked as washed out as his flesh. What country is this? Volodya wondered out loud, the words he spoke. Oh yeah, this is a whole other story right here. I'm already at like 23 minutes. I'm just gonna rip these pages out and get to them next time, because that was the whole thing of the fucking Freak Farm shit. So it's done! Woo! Freak Farm is done! Freak Farm is done! No more of this bullshit, except for the next story, which is probably more of this type of shit. But yeah, I'm almost wondering if this isn't from 2013. Like, I think it is, because I think I remember writing it then, but it just seems like so teenagery, you know? But then again, I was still pretty teenagery when I was in my early 20s, so I don't know. It just, I'm like, am I sure this isn't from being like 19 or something? But who knows? Anyways, that was the whole thing. This whole shit with Volodya and Dima, that's a whole other story. An entirely different other story that I tried to write like 3 or 4 times and never came through. But anyways, I'm almost about to hit 25 minutes, so I'm just gonna do a little celebration. Yeah, Freak Farm is done. Freak Farm is done. La 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 la. No more fucking stupid crazy house bullshit. Yeah, I have actually more to say about this. I was thinking about it today. It is a stupid, dumb ass, fucking stupid story, but like, do have more to say about it. I was thinking about it today. So anyways, goodbye for now, and talk to you later, bye.